Hey y'all, welcome back. Thanks for stopping in. I recently watched a video in which Jammy Hero, another VR creator, a really good VR creator, I like his videos and his takes a lot. He discussed the top 10 PSVR ports he'd like to see, and it really made me realize how many games I actually miss and from the PSVR. So I decided to see how they hold up 1 year after the release of the PlayStation VR2. Almost 1 year. It's the 15th today, and so not quite a year. But at any rate, it was released the 22nd of 2023, February 22nd, so we're getting there. We're getting to the year, and I just thought we'd look at the progress we made, and I wanted to check out some of the old games and see how they held up. So let's get into that. Honestly, I was surprised. A lot of these games actually still hold up. They look really good. Star Wars Squadrons looks great. The multiplayer is not there, so don't even look for it. Iron Man has a really good feel to it. Still a little awkward with the wands and everything, but still, I mean, that was a pretty good game. Skyrim, I mean, of course, it's Skyrim. It plays well still. Hitman was another one that really held up, and those are really the only ones I've had a chance to check out. But I was actually really surprised at how well the older games did check out. So I'm excited. I mean, I'm still excited, and I still think that the PSVR is a valid entry level system if you're not wanting to spend all the money on a PSVR 2, Quest 3, or even a Quest 2. You can get it at a pretty low price point. Setting up the PSVR, I immediately remembered how much I hated dealing with the box, multiple cables. As I usually had to take it down after playing, it was always a hassle to start playing again. Sometimes it even put me off from playing. So that was really a frustration all throughout on the PSVR. That being said, it didn't stop me from playing. So here we go. We're going to take a little trip down PSVR memory lane as I drive back into the world of PSVR OG. Is it PSVR? PSVR 1? I think it's PSVR. But I don't care. It's almost been a year since the release of PSVR 2, as I stated, and I can't help but reflect on my experience with both headsets after having a year with the VR2. When I first got my hands on the original PSVR, I was blown away. The immersion, the sense of being transported into immersive virtual worlds, it was great. I'd only played early PC VR, which at that point was not as good as what the PSVR was. It was just like nothing I'd ever experienced before. From playing No Man's Sky in VR for the first time, which I still play on PSVR 2, to playing the heart-pounding horror games like Resident Evil 7, which is just terrifying. Saints and Sinners, which is still a game, the whole series, Retribution, and the original. I still play both of those games. I mean, all the way to bringing Skyrim to life. I mean, what an accomplishment! I mean, Iron Man. There's so many other good games on there. I mean, I could go on forever. We're not going to do that. I mean, Hitman. So many good games. The original PS4 brought my gaming to like a whole different level. I thought for sure I would never play flat screen gaming again. That being said, a lot of good games have come out that I have played flat screen, but my preference is definitely VR because of the PSVR. It really made me realize exactly how fun it was, and it gave me hundreds of hours of fun. So let's talk about the PSVR 2. The improvements are remarkable. Without getting into comparing specs, the graphics are crisper, cleaner. It's OLED screen. I mean, it just looks so much better. You have eye tracking, which is very helpful. I didn't realize what I was missing with the eye tracking until I put the PSVR on just recently. You can adjust the lens distance, which keeps you from having to constantly readjust your headset like you did with the old PSVR. I mean, you constantly just trying to find that sweet spot where it wasn't blurry. Now you can actually adjust the lenses and see where your eyes are at, really get that dialed in look. And so if your PSVR 2 is ever blurry, you may need to just adjust your lenses or clean your lenses. That's the only time I've ever really had issues is I generally adjust them and clean them before and after every play. So, um, so also, the haptics, they feel so good on the headset and the controllers. They really upped the game on the controllers. The overall comfort was elevated. I mean, I know not everyone finds it comfortable. I can tolerate several hours, 5+ many hours in just the basic headset as it came. I know not everyone can do that, and I get that, but I don't mind it for what fits my big old head. So I'm not complaining about that. But I understand that it's not comfortable for everybody, and there are many mods out there you can get to replace the whole everything but the screen. So look into that if you're interested, if it's uncomfortable for you. But at any rate, it is more comfortable than the PSVR out of the box, for sure. And I mean, not to mention the ease of the plug and play with single USB-C cable, just toss it in. It's a true statement to the advancement in the technology and, maybe the PS5's computing capacity. While the PSVR 2 does look and feel amazing, the game library falls just a bit short and could use several ports from the OG, as kind of I was mentioning that Jammy Hero had made the video about, in order to offer just the wider immersive experiences. It's really unfortunate that it wasn't backwards compatible because we are missing out on so many good games. I played Rogue Squadron just last night. That's a good one. Um, the game library is just stagnant in comparison to other platforms, and even the PSVR has some good offerings that would, like I said, immensely help the PSVR 2. From exploring ancient ruins and distant galaxies in No Man's Sky, jumping into a straight nightmare like Resident Evil 4, Village, um, all the cool games in between, not to mention how good the ports look. Um, for instance, Saints and Sinners looks amazing. Most of the ports are done really well. There are so many amazing experiences. The haptics provide so much more immersion. I mean, when you compare the two, it's night and day. I mean, there are some games that do a lot with the little that they have as far as the wands. There's some feedback, and some of those games do feel good, but they really came and brought it with the haptics on the VR2. I have to say that's one thing they absolutely got right, and I'm impressed with that. So. Um, And I do. I have a soft spot for the original PSVR. It was an affordable virtual reality I could get into without having to upgrade my PC or buy new VR hardware or upgrade my PC and buy new VR hardware. It was just a way I could get in quickly, and I think it's more accessible to most people. I certainly don't miss constantly adjusting the headset to find the sweet spot on the old PSVR. Like I said, the overall clunkiness and generalized wire management is very frustrating. And as the PSVR 2 has advanced virtual reality on the PlayStation immensely, I hope the games do keep flowing and improving, and as there have been some major flops of late. And some people think the headset is on its way out. But let's not overshadow the wins. I'm a fan, and I think it has a chance. I mean, the PSVR dropped in 2016 October. So I mean, I had a 7 year run, and then I mean, I used it on PS5 for a good while. So if the PSVR 2 can match that, we're gonna be great. It just depends on the games. If the games aren't there, no one's gonna support it. But that being said, I have reviewed a number of great games since deciding to toss stuff on YouTube, and I've played even more before that. So here's to hoping they get it together or just keep pumping them out. I mean, there's some things that look good coming up on the horizons, and I'm sure a lot of stuff that we haven't heard of. So I'm hopeful and positive on that. Hate me if you want for that statement. I know it's divisive. uh, in the end, both PSVR and PSVR 2 have left their mark on the gaming industry, each with its own unique strengths it's incredible to see how far it's all come with PSVR being released in 2016, holding its own until February 22nd of 2023, when the PSVR2 was released and arguably still being a valid system. I mean, the PSVR, I enjoyed going back and playing Hitman. I enjoyed going back and playing Skyrim. I enjoyed playing Squadrons. Some games aren't playable on it anymore. You're not going to play No Man's Sky on there and have any kind of a real time. And to be honest, the loading times on the PSVR, well, I had forgot how long those loading times were. So we've come a long way. We've come a long way from the PSVR into the PSVR2. And if the PSVR2 holds up for a comparable time span, as I was saying, we're going to see some bangers coming out. We're going to get some good stuff from other titles, and hopefully we'll get some titles that drop on PSVR 2 first and go out. Hopefully the community keeps growing. And I see a lot of positive stuff on YouTube, and there's a number of people that I watch, and I think the community here is really good. And if that is an indicator of the actual health, I think we're going up. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, and that's fine. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you think we're gonna lose PSVR 2 in the next year, or if it's gonna pop off for another 6-7 years like its predecessor. um, so other than that, I mean, obviously the PSVR does not compare to the PSVR 2, but if you were to buy it as an entry level system, you can get into it for fairly cheap now. There's used ones out there for dirt cheap, and I mean, there's still some good experiences to be had. I wouldn't say they're all great. There's a lot of bloating, but once you get in the immersion of the headset and just start the feel of it, you see that it's more about the way your brain is tricked. So the PSVR is still valid. It's still something that if you haven't tried VR, it's a great entry level into it. That being said, the PSVR 2 is miles away as far as feel, looks, everything. We just need the games to catch up, and I think that's happening. Let me know in the comments what games you're looking at, what games you're playing, what games you'd like to see ported over from the PSVR or other ports that you'd like to see. And I would have liked to have seen Assassin's Creed Nexus on here, but that's obviously not going to happen now. Anyway, if there's anything you're looking forward to, want to check out, want me to play through, or just anything you want to say in general, please, get down in the comments and let me know what's going on. As always, I really appreciate everyone who came through here, spent some time with me, listened to what I have to say, and checked out the videos. This video, all of them. I'm really appreciative of it, and I can't thank you enough. So if you got a chance, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Real quick, I would just really want to thank everybody who has subscribed already. I really appreciate you guys. I never expected to get 100 followers, let alone 200 followers. I do it because I enjoy it, and everyone who hops on and checks it out is really just awesome to me. So I appreciate y'all so much, and we'll see you again.